Forced to leave home at 16. Over a false accusation, now my parents are asking for financial help after losing everything. Hi Reddit. This is a story I've been holding in for a long time, but recent events have brought it all back. I'm 26 now, but this all started a decade ago when I was just 16. Growing up, I was the middle child in a family of 5. My older sister, Jane, was the overachiever. My younger brother, Tim, was the baby who could do no wrong. Me? I was somewhere in the middle, literally and figuratively. My parents were strict, and I always felt like I had to walk on eggshells around them, especially since they seemed to trust Jane and Tim way more than they trusted me. The breaking point came one summer when Jane claimed that I stole $500 from her savings. I hadn't done it, but she was adamant, and my parents believed her without hesitation. I pleaded my case, begged them to let me prove my innocence, but it didn't matter. My parents said my behavior had been going downhill for years and accused me of being untrustworthy. They told me to pack my bags and leave. At 16, I was on the street with nothing but a duffel bag and $20 I had saved from doing odd jobs for neighbors. I was scared out of my mind, but I wasn't about to give them the satisfaction of seeing me fall apart. I couch surfed with friends for a while until one of their parents helped me get in touch with a social worker. Eventually, I was placed in a program for at-risk youth, which gave me the support I needed to finish high school. Fast forward a few years. I worked my way through college on scholarships and part-time jobs. I'm now an engineer with a stable career and a comfortable life. I even managed to save enough to buy a modest home a couple of years ago. I haven't had any contact with my family since the day they kicked me out until last month. Out of the blue, I got a Facebook message from Jane. She wrote, "Hey, hope you're doing well. Mom and Dad are struggling right now. They could really use your help." I stared at the message, completely dumbfounded. After everything they put me through, now they want my help? I ignored the message, but it didn't stop there. My mom sent me an email saying they lost their house due to unpaid debts, and they're living in a small rental. She wrote, "We're still your family and family helps each other in tough times." My brother Tim chimed in with a message of his own. "It's time to let go of the past, bro. Be the bigger person." The audacity of it all is mind-blowing. I haven't replied yet, but a part of me feels guilty. After all, they're still my parents, right? But another part of me remembers the years of struggle and loneliness I endured because of their betrayal. What do you think, Reddit? Should I help them or let them deal with the consequences of their actions? Update 1. First off, thank you all for the overwhelming support and advice. Reading your comments made me realize just how much I've been carrying this weight on my shoulders. I spent the past few days reflecting on everything, and I decided to dig deeper before making a decision. I reached out to an old friend who still lives in my hometown. Turns out, my family situation is even worse than I thought. My parents apparently co-signed on a loan for Jane's failed business a few years back. When she couldn't repay it, the creditors came after my parents. That's why they lost the house. As for Jane, she's still living at home with them, and according to my friend, she hasn't changed much. She's still manipulative and entitled, blaming everyone but herself for her problems. Tim, on the other hand, is doing fine. He has a decent job and his own place, but for some reason, he's not stepping up to help our parents either. I decided to respond to my mom's email. I kept it short and to the point. "Mom, I'm sorry to hear about your situation, but I can't forget how you treated me when I needed you the most. I had to rebuild my life from nothing because of a lie you chose to believe. I hope you can find a solution, but I'm not in a position to help." Her reply came within an hour. She called me ungrateful and said she hoped I'd find it in my heart to forgive them someday. It didn't even sound like an apology, just more guilt-tripping. I'm not sure what I expected, but it still stung. Update 2. After my mom's email, I thought that would be the end of it. But last weekend, Jane showed up at my doorstep unannounced. I have no idea how she found my address. She looked frazzled and desperate, saying, "We need to talk." I let her in, mostly because I wanted to hear what she had to say. She started off by apologizing for the accusation all those years ago. She admitted that she never lost $500 and only said I stole it because she was angry at me for something petty. She couldn't even remember what it was. I was furious, but also oddly relieved to finally hear the truth. Then she dropped the bombshell. Mom and Dad are thinking of moving in with me, but I can't handle that. I was hoping you could take them in, even just for a little while. I laughed, probably louder than I should have. I told her, Jane, you lied and got me kicked out of my own home. Mom and Dad let it happen without a second thought. Why on earth would I let them into my life now? She tried to argue, saying it was time to move past old grievances. I told her I had moved past it, but that didn't mean I owed any of them a place in my life. She left in tears, calling me heartless as she walked out the door. Update 3. This will be my final update. After Jane's visit, I decided to block her and my parents on every platform. I don't need their toxicity disrupting the life I've worked so hard to build. The one positive thing to come out of all this is that I've gained a new perspective. For years, I felt like I was still that 16-year-old kid trying to prove myself. But now, I realize I don't need their validation. I've built a life I'm proud of, and I'm surrounded by friends who truly care about me. To everyone who's shared their advice and encouragement, thank you. You've helped me see that walking away doesn't make me heartless. It makes me strong. My family made their choices, and now they have to live with them. I'm finally free. What do you think, Reddit? Did I make the right call? Let me know